For 1.2.a, on applying the correct order of operations, we should probably go to the order of operations as we see listed in our textbook. And that's in your books here. You see the order of operations, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, and then addition and subtraction. Or PEMDAS is the other way to remember it. But what's neat about using a calculator is that if you enter it exactly the way it is onto your calculator, you will get it correct. So if you have a calculator like the one that I recommend that you use for our class, you just enter it in exactly the way you see it. And then here's to the second key, times 6. Maybe the hard part is noticing that the dot is the same as the times key. We don't use X for times in any class that it could be confused as the letter X. Oops, since X is a variable, so we use the dot in those cases. Times 8 minus 7 squared plus 2 times 5. Now, what's actually happening, I'll just do this one time so that you see the order that things are happening. What's actually happening when you do this problem is it's doing it in this order, okay? Parentheses it's doing first. So this is the first thing it does. And inside that, it does the exponents first, and then it does the multiplications, and then it does the additions and subtractions. Okay? And then up on top, it will do this as the last thing on the top. Then down on the bottom, it'll do this first, this second, and this third, because it does multiplications and divisions from left to right in the same order. And then finally, it'll do this 9th, this 10th, and the very last thing it'll do is this division of the top and the bottom. But anyway, when we press that on our calculator, we get negative 41/25, which should be negative 1.64. I'm not going to go through the order of operations for the rest of them. I'm just going to show you how the calculation works for each of them and show you how it's done. So this first one, 3. Now the parentheses is the same as the bracket. 3 parentheses. That parentheses is the same as a times sign. If we were in Excel, you would have to put in the times sign there, but for your calculator, you will not have to. 6 plus 4, close parentheses, close bracket. So it looks like a parentheses, but it's actually a bracket. Minus 2, and we get 205. Same thing for the next one, 3 minus 7. As soon as you put in a parentheses, that means multiply, times 9, minus. In this case, this minus sign is actually a negative 1 exponent, and so it's going to distribute that parentheses and then times 6, close parentheses, and you get 318. Next one, 7 times 7, and you're going to have to use the to the key, to the third, and then go over one so that you get back down on the line, plus parentheses 4 to the third, and then go back down to the line, close parentheses, squared. And you get 6,497. Last one. One of the things that's tricky about this last one is that people think that that negative sign is going to go away when you square it. But because it's outside the parentheses, it actually is a negative 1 multiplying by whatever is inside the parentheses. 7 squared, squared, close parentheses, squared, plus 3 times 2 minus 2. And you get negative 2,397. So in this case, it did the inside the parentheses first, then it squared its second, then it multiplied by negative 1/3, then it multiplied 3 times 2/4, they added it fifth and subtracted sixth. So that's this assignment 1.2.A, applying the correct order of operations. And if you use your calculator, you will not run into problems. If you don't use your calculator, if you do it on paper, then just remember the PEMDAS that we had here in our book.